The Where are we? Today is April 2nd, 2021, and I kind of wanted to plan this video to be more, I don't know, statistical, analytical, but I think I'm going to do another video for that, like a 2020, how my channel performed in 2020. It might be my next video where I can take more of an analytical approach to YouTube. I think I mentioned I was going to do this in the past, but right here, right now, I kind of just want to talk openly about, I guess, my journey on YouTube. I don't know what I'm going to call this video yet, like a YouTube update or something, because it's been a while since I've done this, since I just sat down and talked honestly, openly about everything. There's not really much to say, I guess. It's I've over the years, when did I start? 2017, so it's been over 4 years on YouTube, and over those 4 years I've been through a lot as an individual. The channel itself hasn't actually done much, which I will explain in a 2020 update video, so I can go through the analytics. But I feel like I've learned a lot. I remember when I first started YouTube, I'm reminiscing of my oldest videos, but literally when I first started, for at least 6 months, maybe even a year, maybe even more than a year, I didn't even show my face, because I was like, I wanted to be creative, but I didn't want it to be creative through me. I wanted to have my own medium, and if I can do that as a faceless creator, that way I can have access to this, access to a creative outlet, with no possibility of it being traced back to me by anyone that I know. And that would allow me to kind of do what I want, explore anything that I want to explore without risk of being not necessarily harassed. Like, obviously you look at the way some celebrities are treated in this modern culture, I can't be bothered to be cancelled. I probably will be at some point. But yeah, that's kind of why I started as like a faceless person. I didn't really want to be known, because I wanted to have full creative license to do and say what I want. But then I realized that being, the type of content that I want to put out, the type of people that I wanted to be listening to me and to have conversations with through the means of this community, it wouldn't make sense if, I don't even exist as a real person. Maybe it does. We are starting to see like a rise in faceless creators in the modern, in the modern era. The last couple of years, especially, have been quite massive for animators and stuff. It'll be interesting to see how that continues to play out in the future. But obviously, that's not my path anymore. You know what I look like now, and yeah, I don't know. Like, the main reason why I wanted to put this video out was because I feel like I'm in the middle of not necessarily a paradigm shift, but some sort of shift where it's like I'm trying to establish a niche now. At the time, initially, it was just like me being creative. I was just making more and more videos. I was trying to get into a routine of making one per week. Like, let's see if I can get my editing time down to an hour. Let's see how quickly I can make a video from like ideation to recording it, to editing it, to publishing it, thumbnail, title. Let's see how quickly I can do that. I kind of met all of my initial conditions that I wanted to do when I first started YouTube. Like, when I was animating, it took hours. It took me, like, I had to render it overnight because it was just so long. My computer was so bad. I've got a better laptop now, Huawei MateBook X Pro. Probably moving to Apple soon, if you saw that video. If not, I'll put it in the iCards, whatever the iThing is. But yeah, like, I've come a long way as a human being, and all the things that I wanted to do on day one, all the things that I thought I could do very easy. Oh, I can make a video in an hour. Yeah, I can upload every week, easy. Make good videos, easy. Like, all the things that I thought I could do initially, it took me a while to be able to do it. Not just be able to do it. Like, I can make a good video in under an hour now, which isn't actually a very good thing, because my videos can be way better, which means I can put way more time into it. But even though I've met those metrics, it took a very long time to be able to do that consistently, and every week. Even right now, I think I'm currently averaging, if I go to my analytics, I'm not going to go through the proper numerical, maths numbers today. As I mentioned a second ago, I do want to do a more analytical approach in the future, to talk more openly about, like, I guess, growth and the numbers. Because I myself, I do check the numbers, but I don't care about the numbers. As in, I know how many subscribers I've got. It's like 469 right now. I know in the last 2 weeks I've got 2,500 views or so. But it's like, I've never actually analysed that. Like, what does that mean? I've never done, I guess, my due diligence as a creative, as a potential business move, you could call it. But I know some of my metrics. It's just, I want to actually sit down and become more analytical, learn to understand what these things actually mean, and what they, what I can do with them, what actionable steps I can make with them. especially now that I've got into a routine of just uploading every week and recording every week. I'm trying to find videos added. Here we go. So I have added a total of 46 videos in the last 365 days in the last year, which means 46 episodes, 46 weeks, weekly uploads ish. There are some weeks where I uploaded twice in a week or whatever. Over 52 weeks, which is very good in my opinion. It's not perfect. Obviously, there's still 6 weeks where I didn't upload. If you assume that this average is consistent in a weekly basis, but I think that's really good. I think especially in the last, since COVID happened, so since September 11, it looks like I'd actually uploaded about one a week. There are some weeks where I've uploaded 2. There are some weeks where I uploaded none, but that's because I scheduled them. Maybe I should go from videos added to videos published. I can't bother to change it. But yeah, like I've got into a routine. I've figured things out finally after like 4 years on the platform. But it's like, where do I want to take it now? And I kind of feel like I'm at a crossroads again of like, initially it was like, I'll just talk about whatever I want to talk about. PewDiePie ruining YouTube, how to get girls, a bunch of like random dumb things I just thought were fun at the time. I was like, I'll just see where this takes me. But now, if you've been watching me recently in the last year, maybe even year and a half, 2 years, you can see a clear trend between like investment stuff, internships, University of Bristol. I'm very much making a niche, but what I've noticed in this niche as well was, maybe I'll explore. Yeah, we'll talk about it now. Like in this space, I've recognized that when you look at the investment niche, it's very American. It's very, very American. You see guys like Graham Stephan, Andre Jick, Meet Kevin, all these like massive US guys, very like Tesla heavy, very like Bitcoin heavy, very, very young, very rich guys. And I love their content, don't get me wrong, but it's like, that's not really a space that I can see an easy way, not necessarily not an easy way, but I can't really see a way into without matching their work ethic at least. Which is impossible while I'm a student. I don't think I have the hours to do what they do. Because realistically, when you think about it from a business type of position, if I'm thinking about this as a business, they are like the market leaders, you can call them. I've got to get market share from them. How can I do what they do, but in my way? And in the UK market, where there just aren't many UK personal investors, there just aren't many UK people. Even if you look at Reddit, I'm part of UK personal finance, UK investing on Reddit. Both of those communities are very small, and it seems like a lot of them are older as well. Not like super old. Obviously, Reddit's still a social media platform, but it's like I don't know how to tap into that market yet. Again, I haven't really looked at my numbers properly yet to take more of a business approach to it. But that's my surface level analysis type of process right now, where it's like I can't go any further in that sector. You also look at the internship side, the student side, the study tube culture we have right now. There are some big names in there. Shout out to like Ibs Mo. There's someone that I need to look more into. I forgot the guy's name. Ali Abdal, massive guy in the space. Obviously V Katavu is like amazing. Jack Edwards, I think his name is, great guy. Seems like a calm guy. But outside of them, a lot of the student, the study tube scene, at least in the UK. Well, everyone I mentioned is a UK guy anyway, but in the UK it's a lot of pretty white girls. And I don't want to sound cynical here at all. I'm not, more power to them. I'm not taking anything away from anyone. But I've recognized the space. I've done my research. I looked around to see like other study tubers, what they do. Every single one has like campus tour, room tour, all the same videos that I don't want to do. I don't watch them, so I don't know why I would do that for you. Like, I like making videos that I myself would watch. Or like when I did the Deliveroo video the other day, I recorded that because I actually care about Deliveroo. I'm invested in Deliveroo. I don't care about what other student rooms look like. I don't care about campus tours. I don't care about room tours. I don't care about the day in the life of a medical student, or how I take notes on an iPad as engineer. I don't care. I don't have an iPad. It's not something that I care about. But those videos are the ones that get the most views, and the channels that do the best in that space. As I mentioned, there's a lot of, obviously Ali Abdal and Ibs Mo are two exceptions, you could argue, V Katavu. But if you look around, I've been looking around, and it's predominantly white girl after white girl after white girl. No offense, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to sound cynical. I'm not trying to sound like negative. It's just an observation that I've recognized. I don't watch their videos because, as I said, a lot of it is just room tour, all these tours and vlogs, and that's not something that I do. That's not something that I would even want to do. Maybe I will try it once as like just to see what happens. But in my head, that's kind of what I would call not selling out per se, But for me to not want to do it and then to do it literally just to get views is the definition, you'd think, of selling out. But I might try it just to see if I enjoy it. I probably won't upload it just to see what it's like, but I don't know. Both spaces seem not necessarily impenetrable. I don't think anything is, and obviously there's always room for everyone to do things to some degree. Maybe that's an optimistic approach, but the fact that Ali Abdaal exists goes to show that you can be a coloured male and make way in that space. The fact that V Category is doing very, very well, if not one of the biggest out there, goes to show that black people do have a space in this sector. And that's not even those guys like Lamide. What's that? I think it's Lamide. I don't know her full name. I found the girls like Gavra, Gavra. I don't know how you pronounce that. But there are a lot of like black people as well in that space. A lot of guys in that space. But again, you notice the difference of subscribers. It's like 1K, 2K, 3K, 400 versus like millions or whatever. So I don't know. Both spaces seem quite interesting. I'm going to work more on, I guess, those spaces, on targeting those communities, because those are the spaces that I want to be in, that I think my content is best aligned to. But it's very strange. It's very complicated. I haven't, again, taken a proper business approach to it, so I don't know what I'm going to get out of this analysis, but it's something that I've recognized. And yeah, that's more of like the channel itself, I guess. I don't know if anyone actually came to hear about what I got to say about myself, but that's where we're going from now for the rest of this video. So I've talked about, I guess, I've given like an overview, I guess, a brief, very, very brief summary of like where I see my channel and like what I'm maybe planning to do in the future, with no hints, no spoilers, nothing. It's just those are the spaces that I'm trying to penetrate. We'll see how that works out over time. But what specifically can I update you about me? What's changed? I guess for me, there's not much I can say. Again, the idea is going to be quite a short video here relative to my other videos. It's not actually that short, but I'm at a space as well where I've got into a good routine of making videos. I've never really cared about numbers, as I said earlier. I look at them when obviously when you upload, you go on the app, you see it literally says like this video, the title's there, number of views, number of likes. I look at that on the surface level, but I've never gone into like the YouTube app properly and like looked at the numbers and like view retention and number of likes to dislikes ratio and stuff like that. So maybe that's something that I'm going to do moving forward if I do plan to grow this platform. But I don't know. For me personally, outside of the YouTube sphere, I guess specifically, I'm starting to look at the space with not necessarily a bit of skepticism. It's not YouTube itself. It's like a lot of what I do, I feel like I do now because I can't do it in real life. To some extent, that's due to COVID-19. I can't go outside anymore. But it's like the Opinion Corner series that I started was literally based on the fact that I love talking to people. I love learning things. I love having like philosophical debates, or like back in the days, what was it, like DMCs, a deep meaningful conversation. I don't have a specific term for it, but you guys know what I'm talking about when you like sit down with your mates and you have like an actual chat about actual things instead of just small talk and like updates. But those chats you don't really have anymore. A lot of my friends from uni, that's not really fair to say, but a lot of people that I talk to more frequently these days, it's more about, I guess, updates. I don't know how to define what talking is, but we talk a lot about like, oh, I've applied to this, I've applied to that, surface level stuff. My career's going this way, I've got an exam due, coursework here, that. It's all very like updatery. Is that a word? It's a word now, updatery. I just made that. And I don't really have the same depth anymore. Again, maybe that's because of COVID, but I missed having that depth, talking more openly about like bigger topics that have room for, I guess, disagreements and different perspectives and different opinions. You can't really have a perspective on like my coursework deadline is next week. It's like, oh, but maybe it's the week after. If you get an extension, there's no real, there's nothing really there, no real substance there. But I miss having these conversations that are filled with more substance, and that have more room for conversation. Like, shout out to Elijah. We had like good conversations at the bottom of basically all those videos in the comments for the internship game for Opinion Corner. I talked about like sexual harassment. I got 4 comments. Toxic masculinity got 14 comments. Net worth got 12 comments. Maybe it's more of a finance thing, but hip hop boycott, football boycott. It's not literally boycott. It's like my thoughts on hip hop and football and Black Lives Matter protests. Like, I talked about these things in Opinion Corner because I haven't been able to have these conversations to the same level as I would like to with my friends in real life. And even though it's fun, it's fun for YouTube. It's good content. I can't help but feel like, why not just go outside and and like talk to actual people that I know in the real world, instead of compensating, if not overcompensating sometimes, with YouTube. Like, the reason why I put out so much investing content, is because none of my friends actively invest. No one that I know actively invests. Some people are invested in the scene a little bit. Some people work in like finance or banking, so they have some perspective on it. But I don't know anyone who's who's doing what I'm doing. I'm actively tracking like different companies and doing this, that, and the other. No one that I know is doing that. And I took it to YouTube because obviously in a globalized era, you have access to the globe. You know, everyone around the world, or everyone with an active, with a sustainable, with a reliable internet connection around the world, you have technical access to, not literal access to, but technically have access to them. So I thought, yeah, I'll take it to YouTube. But the more I do that, the more I realize that, one, the people that the people that I'm giving these videos to aren't necessarily, like, well, I got 10 comments on top savings accounts, but it's like, it's not like the YouTube compromise is necessarily a positive one. Like, it's not leading to more conversations by definition, which is kind of what I was hoping to get out of it. Maybe again, that's me. Maybe the quality of videos can improve. Like, as you get more subscribers, you can expect to get more comments per video. But I don't know. It's like, the reason why I did it, it hasn't really met the need recently. And then on top of that, when you have the internship game series and these other series that I want to do, you know, I wanted to raise, you know, I did £2,019 in 2019. I want to do that in 2020. Still want to do it now in 2021. But you have COVID, it's like actively stopping that. There are a bunch of videos that I want to talk about and want to do, but I don't have the means to do it right now, the time, the resources, the people, if I want to have a cameraman for something. And yeah, I feel like I'm at I kind of plateaued, and that has also plateaued me mentally as well, where it's like, it's still fun, but it's starting to feel a little bit like work. It's starting to feel like, oh, I've got to get a video out. And then it's like, I don't even want to put this video out, but I'm doing the best I can with it. I'm still making a great video to my standards, I guess, but it's like, it's not the one that I wanted to do. You know, the delivery video that I did recently, I like delivery. I thought it was quite interesting, but it's like, it's not really something that I'm overly keen on. I don't expect to get loads of comments and have good conversations about it and learn more about it. I can very much just see that one going out and getting like 20 views and then doing nothing, which is a bit of a shame. I don't really care too much, and at the end of the day, the numbers, I don't care much about the numbers. It's more about putting it out there, and seeing what happens. But you have to admit, after 4 years, maybe it's wrong for me to expect a bit more, but I guess I would just like a bit more. Not again, I feel like I'm deep in this a bit too much. It's more about, you know, internship game I can't do right now because I'm not doing too well at uni. I'm not keen on doing, as I said, study tube videos. So I don't know, it's a weird space. One thing that I do want to work on more, like I've talked about comments, I do want to work a lot more on community growth versus like actual growth. I don't really care much, again, about having 1 billion subscribers, but it would be great if the 469 that I did have would all comment on it. Not necessarily comment, but, you know, we actually formed an active community. Something that I want to work on more. I don't really know how to do that. I probably should start speaking to people that own like social enterprises, things like that, to figure out how they got people behind their message and their vision, mission and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is by no means meant to be like a sad video or even a happy one. It's just a neutral YouTube update. Fundamentally, I'm going to keep putting videos out. The plan is, as mentioned in my 2021 New Year's resolution video, is to put out a video a week consistently for this whole year. That's going to mean that some videos I'm not going to like as much. That's going to mean that some videos I'm going to like a lot. Some are going to do really well, some won't do as well. It is just it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. The more you do, the more you get, the more opportunities there are for serendipitous moments or for a viral video to happen, etc. So I'm optimistic. Fundamentally, this is like a positive video, but that's my update kind of completed. Not much more I can say other than like keep watching and subscribing. Thank you to every single person as well out there. I feel like I was starting to sound a bit cynical or whatever, not or like not triggered. I don't know the word for it, but I'm not, as I said, I'm not angry at all. I'm very, very happy and honestly quite blessed and humbled to see that even one person is listening to me and hearing me every week, let alone the 400 or so that I've got subscribed, irrespective of whether that translates to whatever. I went off on a tangent, but it's like I am honestly very, very thankful. Shout out to every single person who watches these videos consistently, and everyone who comments, likes, shares, has subscribed, whatever it may be. It does mean a lot. I always try and reply to every single comment or Instagram DM, LinkedIn message, whatever, because it's like, it's fascinating. It's fascinating seeing people that watch what I put out. I was actually at an event the other day and someone's like, "Oh, you got a YouTube channel, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I saw your video about Bristol before I applied." The guy was like, "I literally saw your video. That's what made me put Bristol as my firm instead of my insurance." And it's like, wow, to some extent, I literally did change that guy's life, because if he didn't see that video, maybe he would have gone to whatever other uni and it would have had different, maybe better, maybe worse life. I don't know, but different life. So to see that impact and to have that in real life as well, like someone actually recognized me from that, is flipping crazy. Like I'm not even, I haven't even got like a 10,000, I haven't even got 1,000 subscribers, I haven't even got 500 subscribers, but yet I've met tens of people that recognize me from my video, and like that's really, really crazy. So shout out to everyone. And yeah, this camera's dying. It's still warm out in the UK. We've had, summertime is here, guys. Where did I put my sunglasses? I wore these at the end of the delivery video, and we're gonna go out the same way today. I'm wearing the same jumper as well. Shout out to Young Goat. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to buy their merch. And yeah, summertime, baby. Let's get out of here.